Coach. Looking at last week, the running backs weren't really involved in the running game very much. I think 9 carries for Kylan, only 2 for Harris. You expect that to go up this week with Kansas State?
Well, it depends what the defense is telling us to do. We talked in the offseason about how this offense gets the ball in space. This offense gets the ball in the hands of playmakers. We're not an offense that says we're going to run the ball. We're not an offense that says we're going to pass the ball. Do you have to run the ball to be successful? Yes. Do you have to pass the ball efficiently to be successful? Yes. But this offense is going to take advantage of the defense's deficiencies. And last week just happened to be an opportunity. We got a chance to get Kylan the ball out in space. Same thing with Aries when he came in the game. Perimeter blocking was awesome. So this offense kind of builds on itself, as teams look and say, okay, well, we got to stop the perimeter game, then the inside zone works. As the inside zone starts to work, then the deep balls work. So it kind of complements each other. And we talk about having the backs and players that can get the ball in space and not just a running back. We're talking about having great football players that can do something with the ball once they get it.
And by that same token, in the passing game, 2 touchdown catches, 1 for Kylan and 1 for Harris. Is that something that was pleasing to you as a coach? Because with this offense, and what we talked about, I think we talked about it with you last week, that how active the running backs were at Penn State with Saquon catching 54 passes.
Yeah,
is that a good start for them?
Yeah, I think it kind of showed them that we're going to use them more than just being running backs. I think it kind of showed defenses that you can't just say, okay, they got the guy in the backfield, and if he doesn't get the ball, in the inside zone, he's not in the pass game. I think it creates problems for defenses when you can spread the ball to different players. Obviously, running the ball is what running backs do, but they're athletes. And we talked about making big plays, and big plays come in the pass game and the run game.
Kansas State's a pretty good rush defense this season ago. What have you seen on film from them so far?
Really good group. All the respect in the world for Coach Snyder and the group. They do a really good job. They play physical. They're tough. They're very sound. Obviously, we're going to have to do a great job. It's going to be a front 7 game. Our O-line and their D-line. We're going to have to do an unbelievable job on our O-line of creating space. Our running backs are going to have to do a heck of a job of breaking tackles and getting yak. And then they're going to have to be able, when they get the ball in space, to be able to make plays.
3 touchdowns by your guys in that game, or 3 different guys with touchdowns in that game. What was that film room like? I probably had a bunch of smiling faces out there.
It was good. We talk about in that room never getting too high, never getting too low. We looked at it, 3 rushing touchdowns. There's probably a handful of plays where we could have had 1 or 2 more. But it's easy to kind of correct and build off of, success. And we talked about with the team, Coach Moorhead and in the running back room, don't accept in victory what you wouldn't accept in defeat. So although we had some success, we went back and looked and said, okay, let's learn from our success. Let's not have to trip, or fall behind to learn. So it was good to be able to do that. Obviously, we got some laughs, with D. Lee kind of falling right down the goal line. We didn't know if he was trying to score or not, but it was good. It was always good. The guys work so hard. You want to be able to see them get on the field and have success.
And the old cliche is you take the biggest jump week 1 to week 2. With your group, what would you like to see improve?
I think, moving forward, last week's defensive scheme was a lot different than this defensive scheme. So from the mental perspective, they're going to have to be able to make the transition. Last week was more of an odd stack, kind of a 3-4 team. These guys are more of a base cover 4 team. So they're going to have to be able to make the transition. They're going to have to be able to know where the extra hats are going to come from. And then obviously they're going to have to be able to know all of that and still go out and make plays. That's going to be the challenge.
How beneficial is it to have a guy like D. Lee in that room with, being a senior, he does so many things on special teams. What's it like just to have that guy, kind of mentoring some of those other guys?
Yeah, I think D. Lee and, and Aries both, being seniors is huge because they're able to tell Kylan and Nick things that, I'm not able to tell, from not being here as long as them. They're also able to kind of be able to weather the storm, whether they got a touchdown or 1 touchdown or 2 touchdowns, they can kind of snap back and say, hey, new week, new game plan, you were high last week, you got to do the same thing and get better. It's invaluable. I really talked about that in the first press conference, that experience, that leadership, that knowledge from on the field and off the field is invaluable.
We've seen some big runs from Nick Gibson throughout his career, just kind of in flashes. How close is he to taking that next step?
The positive thing is we got 3 guys in that room that can actually do something when they get the ball in their hands, and I think Nick is right there with those guys. The tough thing is it's only one football. So Cyrus gets a catch, and Kidry gets a catch, and Colin gets a catch. Obviously, in a game like last week, we were able to get some more touches of different people. But like I told Nick, you got to keep chomping away at it, and when your opportunities come, you got to be great. And this offense is one of those offenses where when you get the ball, you better find the end zone, because it may not come back to you for 3 or 4 more plays, and somebody else may find the end zone. So I think it creates a little bit of competition, obviously as a group and individually, to maximize their opportunities.